Hello and welcome to Beyond the Slipstream. I'm Matt. This is my brother Justin, and this is our companion podcast to our main show, the Team Bus. We're going to get into some cycling stuff and some non-cycling stuff, and strap in. It's going to be fun. Justin, why don't you kick us off? What do you got?
Um, Get like the one little like news tidbit that popped up today. I'm not sure if you heard about it. Stefan Kung has a new team. Did you hear about this yet? Tudor Pro Cycling.
Really, I just heard him like talking on his other team, like his team that he's been on.
Yep,
Um,
it was
really,
announced today.
for next season.
Yep, for next season.
Okay. All right. Stefan Kuhn to Tudor Pro Cycling. That sounds good.
Yeah, it's more kind of stabling their they're just building a stable over there to try to, I'm thinking probably more of a classics approach for them. Hopefully. I don't see them
Yeah.
competing in GC, but boy, I could see them competing in some one-day races.
I think Storer can compete in 1 week races.
Yeah. Um. So one of the things that I got completely enamored with and went down a little bit of a rabbit hole was from stage 3 of the Lidl Deutschland Tour. All right. So stage 3 is the stage where Danny Van Poppel was relegated. So if you watched that race into its completion, it drags on and on and on and on and on and on at the end because the decision to relegate Danny Van Poppel is happening like in real time. So there's this huge, probably like 15-minute break while they're figuring it out after the race. And they do this aerial shot of this park. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, what is this thing? It's this crazy, like, stonework thing. It comes down from like a castle down this like stone thing into like would be a fountain. Now, none of it's turned on. Like there's no water running at all. So for whatever reason, it's dry. And they make Jez makes a comment about it. Being like, oh, they have the water turned off today or whatever, but it's so beautiful or whatever. And I'm like, what is this thing? So I look up, Mountain Park Castle, Germany, and boom, the Berg Park Wilhelmshohe, all right, pops up, and it is a mountain top landscape park in Kassel, Germany. All right, the construction started in 1689, and it took 150 years to complete. But what it is, it's this like water feature. All right, they open up the water at the top and it cascades down this extremely long hillside, all right, into this beautiful fountain. All right, and all this stuff is hundreds of years old at this point. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's this beautiful park. And I'm like, man, I gotta find out more. So I start, watching little video here, jump on the Wikipedia page. Come to find out that when when Napoleon Bonaparte took over France, his brother, all right, they had like created like a country in the eastern side of Europe. They had like made this little their own little country, and his brother Jerome Bonaparte, all right, was at the head of this conglomerated federation of states that they had taken over.
Who knew Napoleon had a brother named Jerome? I love Jerome
Jerome
Bonaparte.
Bonaparte.
He's like Napoleon's wily brother.
Yes, in the East. And Jerome set up shop. All right, his headquarters was in that big building at the base of the park. So you were asking me off air when I was making you watch that video. You were like, "What is this building here?" That was his palace. Okay, when he was in control. All right, and in this beautiful mountain area in Kassel, Germany. Super duper cool, man. Like this thing is amazing. I'll put the little link in the description, on YouTube. You can put the link in the description for on Apple and Spotify. Hit this link. Check this thing out. It is one of the coolest pieces of architecture that I've seen watching a cycling race in the longest time. It's unique. It literally looks like something out of a fantasy, storybook, novel. I mean,
It's
Peter.
like they start. It's like they start the water tumbling down the mountain from the top, and it goes through like 5 or 6 different like crazy architectural
Yes.
things that water can flow through. There's waterfalls. There's aqueducts. There's just fountains, and it just all kind. It's like every kind of expression of water that you could do as it travels, down the side of the mountain. It's really stunning.
Yeah, it's freaking beautiful. So I highly recommend that you check it out. If you watch if you're watching the end of stage 3 of the Deutschland tour, you can see a little bit of it there. But honestly, the video does it way more justice because you get to really see the water flowing in it, and when the water's flowing in it, it's so damn majestic. It's just a beautiful thing, and it's another time where cycling has hit me to some beautiful thing in the world that I had no idea existed.
Yep. Another one of the lovely things about this wonderful sport. You want to go through your stats tracker for
Yeah,
the relegation
wasn't
relegation battle?
wasn't a lot of change this week. Honestly, everything's kind of hovering in the same zone. Intermarché is continuing to lose ground in the 18th spot to Cofidis. Their lead is just over 1,000 points right now. But Picnic Postinel and XTS Asana are just continuing to push that lead that they have out from those other two teams even further. And we've definitely seen Astana in the breakaway this week in the Vuelta a few times. So I really think at this point it's Intermarché's race to lose, and that if they really don't get something going right, in these, especially right now, like if they got to put something together, dude. Like they are an absolute risk because every week they are losing ground in this race, and they're gonna get relegated, man. Like it is a very distinct possibility.
Yeah, and I mean they're lucky they have such a big gap on Cofidis and Uno X because both of those teams have seen some successes. I mean Cofidis uh, had a win in one of the races last week. As and Uno X, Soren Werenskold just
Yeah,
took a stage win in the GC at
at the
at
Renewing, yeah,
no, not Renui, at
or at Deutschland.
Deutschland. So yeah,
And that's the other wild card is that Uno X keeps racking up points. So, the gaps are getting smaller and smaller, and it's closing. So, like I said, Intermarché's really is on the hot seat in this race as far as I'm concerned because Cofidis and Uno X are doing a lot more to put themselves into the top 18 than Intermarché is doing to stay in the top 18.
Intermarché is doing nothing, just
I
absolutely
totally
nothing.
agree.
Like as we discussed on our main show, Biniam Girmay has just been nowheresville this entire season, and nobody else is doing anything either. I mean, didn't you pick Louis Menkes to do something
Yeah, I did.
in the Vuelta? I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, this is very, 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 very true. But honestly, other than the Vuelta and the things we've already talked about, there really hasn't been much going on. Nicolas Prudhomme pulled out a one-day stage race win in the what is it called? The La Polynormanda. So, again, Nicholas Prudhomme pulling out a really good one-day race win. This guy's been
He's
winning.
having a hell of a good season.
Yeah, he's having a great season. So, he's a guy that's out there mopping up second-tier races like a damn janitor.
Well, I'm just looking forward to what happens with Maddie Brennan next year. That's like my favorite storyline of the whole year. It's just like watching this guy's arc and like,
The sky's the limit. It's just
They
everything's
very
so
purposely
damn
sent him
open.
to all these second tier races, and he's just been proving himself time and time again. He's in the top 5 for wins this season. He's in some pretty good company with the likes of Tim Merlier and Tadej Pogacar. Yeah, sky's the limit for that dude.
Yeah, I mean, his trajectory this year is a Tim Merlier, Lorena Wiebes, Tadej Pogacar, type of trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yes, he's racing in a lot of second tier races, but look, this kid's beating real competition. All right,
Absolutely.
that we were saying earlier in the season, like, well, what will happen when he goes up against the likes of a Tim Merlier or a Johnny Milan, and he can beat Johnny Milan. All right, so
Twice.
like if he can beat Johnny Milan, I think that puts him on par with being able to go up against a Philipsen and a Merlier.
Absolutely, because Jasper Philipsen and Tim Merlier are not immune to getting washed, to getting lost in
Yeah,
some maneuvering, to not being led out perfectly by their team every single time. Sometimes Tim Merlier is like struggling back there in 12th or 15th because his team didn't do the work to get him where he needs to be. And in those opportunities, Matty Brennan will dust up and will clean up.
well, and I also think that they have done Visma's done a really good job of providing him with really good lead outs, throughout the season. And this, the last win in on the last stage of the Deutschland tour is a perfect example of that. All right. You have 4 guys, all working together. You've got Wout Van Aert right in front of him, and just the sky is the limit when it comes to what he can do, and he can win an uphill climb. This kid can ride a bike uphill. All right,
Yeah,
so like,
and Olaf Koy is going to be gone next year.
I mean, it's the assumption. I mean, that's definitely my assumption. I don't see I don't see why you keep them both, and I don't see why, if you're Olaf Koy, where the upside to you staying on that team is right now, because there's
I'm
just
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that deal's already done. Like
did they
Koy's gone.
so I still have yet to see the confirmation of the Koy leaving. So, but like I said, I think it's a done deal. It doesn't make sense for him to stay. All right, because after the season that Brennan's had, it's going to be very hard for them not to put him into a position where he can win big races. All right, like you don't take somebody that's
Yeah,
as hot as this kid and put him on ice. Like,
yeah, he'll do 2 Grand Tours next year for sure. My guess would be that they send him to the Giro and the Vuelta. Um,
and let him see what he can do.
they focus everything on Jonas for the tour, and yeah,
And I would assume probably like a Perry Nice would be my guess. If I had to
yeah,
imagine, I would think of Perry
that makes
Nice,
sense.
Torino Adriatico, something like that, where he's especially a couple of these 1 week big prep races to
Right.
see what he's gonna see what he can pull out in some of those sprints. So I think if he has a spring that's anywhere near as strong as the spring was this year, there's no chance that he
Spring,
doesn't win a stage
it's spring and
in a Grand
summer.
Tour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Don't miss the Team Bus, our weekly podcast about pro cycling, and oh, did I mention pro cycling? We're kind of obsessed. Dropping into your usual podcast feeds every Wednesday.
For
So,
sure.
do you have any other racing things that you want to talk about? Because I would love to get
Mm,
into this thing that you have in your notes.
I don't think so.
All right, so let's talk about first off,
Okay, so
intro it, and then I want to ask you a couple questions.
yeah, so I've been a long time listener of Mark Maron's podcast WTF. It's like one of the goat podcasts out there, and he's actually sort of sunsetting his show right now. I think his last episode is going to be within the next like month or two. He's been consistently doing 2 episodes a week for literally like 15 years now or something. He's got well over 1,000 shows. And he recommended videos by this website or this YouTube channel called The Elephant Graveyard. And he said that he really would love to get this guy on his show. He would love to interview him, that he loves this guy's point of view, but that, he's reached out and the guy is just very like under the radar. He's just a YouTube channel, and the person behind it does not want to be known.
Interesting.
So he has not responded to any of Marin's and Mark Maron's the kind of guy, like, if you are the kind of artist that the Elephant Graveyard artist is, like, you could be very comfortable deciding to go on that show because Maron's going to give you a very respectful interview.
Absolutely.
He's going to believe in what you're bringing to the table. So what this YouTube channel is, it's called The Elephant Graveyard. And this guy is basically taking down the right side, the bro side of the comedy world. The Joe Rogan,
Tony Hinchcliffe,
Theo Vaughn, like all those guys that are
Schultz.
Yeah, Andrew Schultz. These guys that are like, anti-woke and Kreischer, all these guys. And
I will say that the Kreischer stuff is very, bro-centric, but out of that group of them, I would say that he, being a father of daughters, is a way more progressive than the rest of them.
Yeah, he's got some heart for sure. I agree. Anyways,
I'm just saying, while he's in that friend group, I don't know that I necessarily put him on par with the views of a Joe Rogan and a Theo Vaughn and
Shane Gillis is in there with those guys, all those guys. So, and he has a special, the Elephant Graveyard guy. He's got a special ire for Joe Rogan. Like, he really, really, really hates Joe Rogan and like what Rogan represents. And these videos that this guy does are so well done. Like, this guy, first of all, this guy's funny. Okay. This dude's funny. He edits and comments in such a way that he's calling people out on stuff that they say. He's got an encyclopedic knowledge of like everything that these people have said in the past. And so when Joe Rogan is like I don't know if I linked the Joe Rogan one, maybe I didn't.
Well, here's what I'm going to say about Joe Rogan. Okay. Joe Rogan is the most two-sided commentary that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
He acts like he goes down, like like this is his thing, but wishy-washes on all of it. In my opinion, in maybe the most dangerous way. Okay, because he brings on controversial guests that say controversial things, and a lot of it's innocuous. But here's the reality: is that he's got a giant audience, and when he puts assholes like Donald Trump, all right, on his show and glorifies him, it is the wrong goddamn message. All right. And then 6 months later, he's walking back and being like, this guy's doing some crazy shit, man. I don't know. And it's like, hey, fuckhead, you got this fucking asshole elected. All right. You were fucking complicit in this shit. All right. So don't fucking think for a second that the rest of us that didn't want this shit don't know that you were fucking championing it. Okay, so fuck you, A. All right, so good. I'm glad there's somebody out there calling these fucking assholes on their bullshit, because that wishy-washy fucking nonsense might be good for your fucking pocketbook and your ratings or whatever the fuck metric that you're seeking, but you're fucking the rest of us.
You really have to watch his review of the latest Rogan comedy special dude, it's so good.
I will watch
It's
it.
like
I really enjoyed the one that I watched today.
the way he edits it, like he goes through the guy's whole special, and he'll do these incredible freeze frames. Well, a freeze frame, and he'll be like, "Look at the look on Joe's face right there. You can see he just said this, but look at the look on his face right there." And it's like a freeze frame, and it's so well done. Like that's why this guy's channel is so effective, is because the quality of his video edits. I mean, he's got the content there to support him, but he is delivering it in such a perfect,
Yes,
perfect way.
Well,
It's perfect.
and it's one of the reasons why I really enjoyed what I watched today about Seinfeld, which is, you know, him kind of showing the hypocrisy that Jerry Seinfeld has to be like, look, you know, if things are too woke for you, it just means that you're not hitting the gates. You're not evolving with the times. Like you don't need to do this, and then to walk it back because comedy's leaving you behind, old man. Like fuck you. Like fuck you for being I'm sure our mother will listen to this, so I apologize for all the F-bombs, but these guys are just the worst types of people in the world. And, this is the type of guy that I thought it was really interesting. I can't remember who said, I don't remember if he said it or somebody said it about him moving into a house above Mitzi from the Comedy Store's house so that she could see him drive by in all these different cars. And like, what a supreme, petty, loser he is. You know what I mean? And like the story about Adam Sandler and like,
oh, well, let's not forget, first of all, this is the guy that was dating like a teenager.
Yes.
He was like in his 30s, and the guy was dating a teenage girl. And how great is the edit in this video when they show the clip of Seinfeld where it's like him and George walking into the guy's office for the NBC meeting or whatever, where they're going to pitch their show. And the guy's like, "Sorry, I'm late. I had to pick up my daughter And he's like, "Oh, you a daughter?" And he's like, "Yeah, she's 14." And George is like, "That 14, that is such a fun age." And they both look over because the guy's secretary has walked in the room, and like she's like this bosomy like secretary or whatever, and it's like it's just too perfect. It's like George is like, "Oh, 14, what a great age." And then they're all like, "Rah, rah, rah, look at this hottie over here," like right up there where they were just talking about 14-year-old girls, and what a fun age. And then when you contextualize that with the fact that Jerry Seinfeld was like dating like a 17-year-old when the guy was like in his 30s, and
Shoshana Lonstein.
Yeah, Shoshana Lonstein. And I'm one to talk. I mean, my wife is 15 years younger than I am, but she was over the age of 21 when we got together. Yeah. I'll say that. She wasn't a 17-year-old. Like, yeah, it's great. Like, I will watch every single thing on this guy's channel. That video is so entertaining. Make sure you watch the Rogan one, because clearly what you just demonstrated to me is, in terms of your opinion of Joe Rogan, like, you'll love it. And you know what's funny?
Look, man, I have a low opinion of Joe Rogan, and it's mostly coming like the last year or two.
2 years, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, because one of the things that I
listen to a bunch of his podcasts.
Look, one of the things that I do like about Joe Rogan is that he is willing to listen to another side of the coin. He's willing to listen to a far-fetched theory. He's willing to give some people some rope to say, to put some stuff out there that's a little off the center. Like, I really, have loved some of the episodes that Joe did with Graham Hancock, who's like one of these ancient archaeology people that's essentially saying like, hey, we've got history wrong. There's a lot more to it than what we realize, and is really trying to push the boundaries of the conceptualized history that we have right now. And so I think it's cool that he gives people like that a platform. All right. I think it's cool that he gives people a platform to be able to do different things. But I also think that, one of my problems that I have with Joe Rogan now is the fact that he's a person that has a giant platform, that has a lot of influence, and I think that he abuses what the power that he has. Maybe it's purposely, maybe it's inadvertently. I don't know what it is, but it's exploitation of the masses in a way that is very dangerous as far as I'm concerned. And so it's not, to me, it's not about the comedy. It's not about what they're saying, but it's also, it's to me, it's more about the fact that, it's like they're making this okay for people. And these things should not be okay. It shouldn't be okay to drop the F word and to use the R word, and like, you don't need to. Like, it's unnecessary. Okay.
Yeah, it's lazy. It's lazy and
Yes.
hacky.
Exactly. And to guys that with like, we're just, it's this woke culture and blah blah blah. Bill Maher's the same. Bill Maher's the same way. Okay, Bill Maher's another one
Yeah.
where like, I agree with a lot of things that Bill Maher says, but then I also have this like, dude, you're just being an old man. Like, you're just being an old guy that the world has passed by. Like, just stick to your political views and stop making this attack on woke culture. Okay, like, it's not a bad thing that we stopped persecuting people that are transgender, that are different colored. Okay, like, that's not a problem. Like, DEI is not a problem. Okay,
Right.
You're the problem if you think DEI is a problem. Okay, like, period. Like, because it's not just about people of color. It's about women. All right, and we're just remarginalizing people in this country left and right. And
You know who gets it right? You know who really gets it right? That's right there in that space, but it's getting it totally right. Bill freaking Burr.
totally,
Bill Burr.
yes, I totally agree, because
He'll call out all that woke stuff, but he's not afraid to admit that it's right. The woke stuff is correct.
yes. Is it
You know what I'm
is some
saying?
of it ridiculous? Do some people take it too far? Absolutely, but you'll have that on both sides of every coin. There's always going to be extremes on both sides. All right, but to sit there and be like, like, oh, this is what's destroying the fabric of our country. No, it's not. It's not what's destroying the fabric of our country. Like, it's clearly not.
Yeah. I put the link to the Rogan video into the show notes. It's called Burn the Boats. I think that was Rogan's last comedy special, was Burn the Boats. And this Elephant Graveyard's takedown of Burn the Boats is just incredible.
Well, I'm definitely going to watch it because I thoroughly enjoyed the one that I watched today.
It's excellent.
I was really, honestly, it was one of those like late things that I watched in the prep, today when I was getting things ready. I was like, ooh, you know what? I'm gonna turn this video on while I'm doing this other shit. And I watched it, and I like immediately ended up stopping what I was doing and watching it for 40 minutes. And it was like, got literally
good,
nothing
man.
done while I watched it.
Yeah, the guy is good. Yeah, Seinfeld, not a good guy at all. Have you shoot, what was I just gonna ask you about? I was gonna do a massive subject change, and now I can't even think about what it was.
Oh,
Damn.
Midnight's hitting you.
I can't remember. Yes, midnight is setting in. Oh, the Billy Joel documentary. Have you seen any of the Billy Joel documentary?
No.
HBO Max. It's like a two-parter, but each part is like a good, like solid, like 2 hours. A lot of content. Like I had forgotten how many freaking hits that guy wrote. Like,
Well,
it's
he had
crazy the number of hits that guy wrote.
He had like two, like, or really, I guess you could almost say like three versions of himself, because you had like the Piano Man version of himself, and then you had like the mid '80s down Easter Alexa vibe, and then River of Dreams was like crazy popular. Like, that album was insane.
Wait, what was on River of Dreams? I haven't gotten that far in the documentary.
Oh man, that's like It has that song, River of Dreams. It has. Hold on, let me go to
You
that.
don't even know. You're okay.
I don't remember the dude.
I'm calling out this
first off,
comment.
I was like 12 years old. You relax. Because I can't rattle off names of songs off of
Nobody's ever heard
random.
of River of Dreams. No, but
Dude, get out of here. I guarantee you that it charted big for him. It may have been commercially one of his biggest.
look. The last thing he did was "We Didn't Start the Fire." It was done by then.
It
But
was
prior to
definitely
that,
not done by then.
he was in a metal band basically. Like when he started his career, he was trying to be like a Led Zeppelin. It was like him and his one buddy. They were called like what was their name? There's some crazy footage of them like wearing these like Conan the Barbarian outfits or whatever, like Billy Joel, for God's sakes. But that it's just they give the proper amount of time. And I said the same thing about when I was recommending the Yacht Rock documentary from HBO, where all of the big important songs they give them like a good like 5, 6, 7 minutes to like really breathe in the documentary. I mean, when they're talking about Piano Man, when they're talking about um, like She's Always a Woman, and just a bunch of these songs that are just really like ubiquitous. Oh, what was the one? New York State of Mind.
Ooh, that's
They
great. That's a great
they
song,
have
man.
they cut to Nas being interviewed on there, and Nas says, of all the New York songs out there, the one that for me is the quintessential New York song, Billy Joel, New York State of Mind. Which I'm like, damn, that's impressive when Nas is up there talking about Billy Joel's New York
Well,
song.
don't forget that
The
New York State of Mind was one of Nas's monster songs.
yeah. Well, um, and what I love about what they do with that song is so when they do Piano Man, they have this really cool. This is one of the great things about this documentary is the the way they edit it. So during Piano Man, they they have this part at the end of the whole like Piano Man section. They have this part where they go back in time to like the earliest recording, like video recording of Billy Joel playing Piano Man, and then like they keep jumping ahead in time as the song is progressing, and when they get to the end, he's playing this song in front of like a stadium full of people, and he doesn't even have to sing at all. Like they get to the final verse, and boom, the whole band just stops, and he's just looking at this crowd, and you see this incredible shot from like 5 feet away from him sitting there at the piano, looking out, and there is an entire stadium singing his song back to him. It's just like so epic. And then when they do the New York State of Mind, what they do with that one is as they're playing through the song, when they get to the end, they play clips of like 20 different absolute like god tier A-list recording artists playing that song live, and each one of them going, I'm in a New York state of mind, like, and it goes from like, you know, Bruce Springsteen to, you know, whoever, like the people that are at the absolute pinnacle of stardom, all covering that song because it's such a good song. It's like it's so effective in this documentary the way that they spool that out. So a big recommendation for the Billy Joel documentary on HBO Max.
All right, here's some of his charted hits. Okay, you had Piano Man. All right, obviously his signature song. All right, top 100 song, wasn't a number one. All right, Just the Way You Are, 1977, Grammy winner. All right, and was a number one hit. It's Still Rock and Roll to Me, number one hit. Uptown Girl, second single from the Innocent Man album, number one hit. Tell Her About It, number one hit. That was 1983. We Didn't Start the Fire, 1989. All right. He actually charted a song in 2024, actually, as well, in the top 100 called Turn the Lights Back On. And then River of Dreams was a number 3 Billboard top 100 hit in 1993.
I mean, just go to the album, his 1977 album, The Stranger. Track 1, Moving Out. Amazing song.
By the way, he's got more than 25 songs
out.
on the Billboard Top 100.
Just the Way You Are. Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. Only the Good Die Young. She's Always a Woman.
Ooh, Only the Good Die Young. That's a good
all
one.
On that record. There's like 5 freaking bangers just on that record. I mean,
I can't believe you don't know River of Dreams. I'm walking in the street, and the river of dreams. I walk on the ocean.
yeah, that kind of sounds familiar.
I'm walking the street.
Anyways, great talk. You got anything else? We need to wrap this up.
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I am spot on.
All right. Well, that is all for this week. Thanks for joining us here beyond the Slipstream, where we get into some other kinds of non-cycling stuff, and we're all the better for it. A pleasure potting with you this week, sir.
Absolutely.
Our new rebrand is off and underway, and I'm feeling good about it. Join us again soon when we take another ride in the team bus.
And go beyond the Slipstream.
All the above.
All right. Have a good one. Ale.
Beyond the Slipstream is a companion to the Team Bus and is produced by Harperama. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Please like, subscribe, leave a review, and tell your friends about us. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time. Ale!